Shalom, shalom. Kol halo Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushai. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rokah HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and bishops of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Salutations to the beloved prophets and brothers who continue to exhort and magnify the name of Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushai. And to the sheep, shalom to you. Continue to learn, abound, and exhort to put on righteous garments. The topic of this epistle, I think I'm going to label it, I'm not a marriage counselor. By no means, I'm not a marriage counselor. But I can instruct you in the way of wisdom, which was given down from heaven, from Yahweh, unto his men, the elect, to be administrators unto your husband first and foremost, if he is man, following in the ways of Yahweh, Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushai, to be administered and a teacher unto his household first and foremost, and unto his woman, and then to his children. So we'll touch on some scriptures to get an understanding of what is being said here and why I'm saying I'm not a marriage counselor. So we're going to go into the book of Ecclesiasticus in your Apocrypha, if you have one of these. Chapter 26. It says, blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife. Pause. Blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife. He's not talking about any woman, but a virtuous woman. A woman who is receiving instructions from the head of her household, her husband, if she has one, to walk in a way that she's supposed to be pleasing unto her husband, to please the Father. So blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. So this is a fundamental scripture here showcasing that a man's life may receive long days, given that he is paired with a virtuous woman, a woman who is obedient, understanding of the scriptures, receiving instructions, and bearing the good fruits that is being instructed by her husband, because there is a structure established within the scriptures that's found in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach Yahushai, the beloved son. And the head of the woman is the man. The head of the woman is the man. The man is responsible for the woman that he has in his possession. And the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. So there's an arrangement being made there for the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of how to rule your house well, and everything underneath of that man first begins with the Most High Yahweh, and then through the word that he has delivered unto earth, unto his priests, through Yahweh Shai, and then to that beloved brother who is ruling his house well. Verse 2 of Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, it says, a virtuous woman, again, a virtuous woman. This is a woman that is receiving instructions of the commandments, who is adhering to the wisdom and sound advice that is coming down from her head. This is in particular to married couples, those that are in union, a bed not defiled, right? A good wife is a good portion. Oh, I didn't finish 2. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 verse 2. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. In peace. This is something that most men would really like to see in their households, is peace and joy. Peace and joy, in particular the elect, the priest. Verse 3, a good wife is a good portion. A good wife is a good portion. What's a good wife? A woman that's walking in the way that she should go, receiving instructions, following the commands of her husband, right? A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Most High Yahweh. Verse 4, whether a man be rich or poor, a virtuous woman is not going to look at your accolades. She's not going to look at your material wealth that you have built up around you. She probably will make sure that you're stable, so she's not getting involved in something that may be detrimental to her well-being, not one of those women that needs something broken that she can fix. This is, not a virtuous woman, not a good woman. You can't be unequally yoked. You must be involved in something that is holy, a holy union, because the fruit that bears from a holy union is going to be fruitful. It's not going to have all the dire consequences of being unequally yoked. So verse 4 says, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart towards Yahweh, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. That man, regardless of the state that he finds himself in, because we go through ebbs and flows throughout life, 1 minute you're up, then you're down, you're up, you're down, and so on and so forth. But through it all, are you constant? Are you constant in obeying the Most High Yahweh? Because all things is orchestrated from him in your life. All things. So whether a man be rich or poor, if he has a good heart towards Yahweh, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. Verse 5, there be 3 things that in my heart feareth, and for the 4th I was sore afraid. The slander of a city, when you bring a bad name to your home. You don't want to, in particular to a woman, you don't want to be a gossiper, gossiping abroad, spreading rumors, bringing shame to your household, bringing a bad name to your husband ultimately, right? The slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude. This is for those women out there who like to be little chat boxes and somehow get some unbiblical understanding of how to operate in your home, and cause all kind of catastrophe. And a false accusation. You bring these things onto your house, you're inviting a whirlwind of problems and causing insufferable disgrace to your husband. That's not bringing peace into the home. All these are worse than death. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth at all. To be insecure in yourself and your relationship with your husband is a detriment. It's insecurity. It's a spirit of fear. You don't want to communicate those things. You want to be a sound in your walk and have that courage that builds the love and the trust in your marriage, in your union, your holy union. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. An evil wife, there's evil women out there. It says it right here. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that holdeth of her is as though he's holding a scorpion. There's some good men out there that continue to hold on to these scorpions in their hands as though that is something valuable and a possession unto them, and is only going to be detrimental to their own detriment as well. And in that case, the Most High will find favor in that godly individual, that man who wants to serve him with fear and reverence, and yoke him and pair him to a virtuous woman, a virtuous wife, one that seeks to please that man, to serve the Father ultimately. Okay, boom. Ecclesiasticus, better known as Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 8. A drunken woman in a gatter abroad causeth great anger. A drunken woman in a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. Again, I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm not going to sit down with you or your husband and instruct you on how to operate as a marriage. But I will point you in the Word and what the Father says and instruct you in that manner, right? A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad, cause of great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. She'll give no 2 cents of her actions, right? The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. This is a telltale sign of the whoredom of a woman, is that a virtuous woman? Is this woman wanting attention from all the lustful eyes out there? Is she being respectful unto herself to bring respect unto her household and unto her husband? There's plenty of women out there that love to show skin, and this is no different from what is being said here in this passage. A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. There's marriages out there where I have witnessed where the husband, either openly or indiscreetly, will condemn his woman for coming out the house wearing something that is so not suitable for the public eye, and to bring shame upon himself. And then there's some men that really don't care. They want to expose the harlot that they're walking with, right? Verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Now, you have your daughter taking on the mannerisms of the whorish woman, the mother. You got these women, these little children, dressing like little whores, like their mom, and ultimately going to reap the consequences of those actions, not having the guidance and the instructions of that man in the house. And you definitely want a man of the Lord, the Most High, Yahweh, in your home, instructing you in the way to go to get everyone in line according to the scriptures. Not an overseer, but an austere, loving man is one that takes care of his home first and foremost, because he understands the consequences of not walking in a straight path, right? A loving father, a loving man will want that for himself and everyone that follows suit. So, verse 11, watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Don't take it lightly. Now, the actions of this kind of behavior that is found in a woman, it's on your radar. Keep an eye on it. Add the corrections. If it starts to worsen, take action through the scriptures. Verse 12, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water nearby. By every hedges she will sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow. This is the defiled woman. This is a woman that practices foolishness and sickness, right? Verse 13, the grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. This is a woman you can find peace in. This is what a virtuous, soft-spoken woman will bring to her household. Peace and love. A silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahweh. Whew. And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A woman, a partner that can be well instructed, who can receive the words and trust the words that are coming from her priestly husband, is going to be a guard unto her, to have that security, knowing that she's well loved in that manner. The women now have no sense of what true love is. They find it in the flesh. They find it through showing their body. A woman who desires to be loved in that manner needs some straightening up, needs some instructions if she's willing to receive them. Right? Again, Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 14, it says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahweh, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Again, I'm not your marriage counselor, but I can bring out some instructions from the Father to make it plain upon tables for you to receive, right? Verse 15, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace. Double grace? Double grace. And her continent mind cannot be valued. Very valuable, very precious. Or are you a dime a dozen? Are you becoming a dime a dozen? Nothing no different from what we can find out here. A man of value is going to want a woman of value. A woman who guards herself in the way that is good instructions. Verse 16, as the sun when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. So everything that everything that is preceded from the husband, the priest, the men of Yahweh, unto the woman is going to order her house all right in the way that is instructed ultimately by the Father through that man, making that man more precious than the gold of Ophir. Verse 17, as the clear light is upon the holy candlestick, so is the beauty of the face in ripe age. No matter how old she gets, no matter what the body goes through, the countenance of that woman is still going to have that beauty, because the beauty is what is within. The body's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to, wrinkle up like a grape. But what do you look like as that withered grape? We can attest that no matter what age a person becomes, you can see the disdain within that person, and how no matter what the outside appearance looks like, they're still an ugly individual. As to where someone who has that goodly and godly countenance, deeply rooted within, is going to bring forth, is going to cover and mask your outward flesh. That's the beauty of it. Verse 18, as the golden pillars are upon the sockets of silver, so are the fair feet with a constant heart. Be consistently in it. You'll be a strong pillar. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 19. It says, my son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. This is an instruction for a man not to lose his value by just being a whore himself. Verse 20, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession, the Most High considers a woman of Zion chiefly as a fruitful possession. The daughters of Zion, an Israelite woman, she's fruitful. She's a fruitful possession. She is not something to be just disregarded and be treated like a woman of another nation, but she's a prize unto the Most High. The Most High, Yahweh, he loves his daughters of Zion too. So men beware. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So what's being said here? Let's read it again. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, anywhere in the world, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So if we are paired with our own nation people, starting from the 12 tribes on down, that is a good stock. That is a good stock, because we're sharing the same ruach, the same spirit, and we are going to fear the Most High in the exact same manner, as to where if you sow your seed amongst other nations, you start to dwindle down that strength in that seed line. I hope that makes sense, because I can bring out a whole bunch of precepts to substantiate that as well. Verse 21, so thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent. I pray that doesn't need further breakdown. Verse 22, a harlot shall be accounted a spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. He trusts in that marital companionship that he has alongside him is going to be a strength and a pillar unto him. He doesn't have to look back and be filled with all these questions, but he's going to have confidence knowing that the one that is yoked beside me is my companion, a strength to me. Verse 22, a harlot shall be accounted a spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. 23, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. Listen to this. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Most High Yahweh. Again, I'm not a marriage counselor. I can only tell you what is written. Right? Verse 24. A dishonest woman contempteth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. A shameless woman, verse 25, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Most High. This is a woman who is observing her speech, observing her lot and her position amongst those around her. She's not becoming a fool, not be made a laughing stock, because she's keeping that covenant fresh in her mind, keeping the word fresh in her mind consistently, always mindful of her actions and her speech, right? A shamefaced woman shall be accounted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Most High Yahweh. Verse 26, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. Right? That's plain. Verse 27, a loud crying woman and a scold shall be brought out to drive away the enemies. This is a very contentious woman. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. This is the Most High Yahweh speaking. A man of war that suffereth poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by it. So there is men that are unprofitable unto themselves, and it is showcased within their homes and trickles down to the children as well. Those that do not hearken and obey the words that are being spoken in the Holy Scriptures. And one that returneth from righteousness to sin. And Yahweh prepareth such a one for the sword. So, with that all said, I pray that these scriptures here can help you self-examine yourself and in your works, and what kind of virtuous vessel you would like to showcase according to what you're being instructed by, and continue to abound and strengthen your understanding in righteousness and sound doctrine, doing all the things that's commanded of you. So I pray that this was helpful, and until the next time, Shalom.